Have you ever left a conversation feeling guilty, confused, or questioning your own memory, even though you know you did nothing wrong? A groundbreaking study published in 2026 found that 64% of adults have experienced emotional manipulation in their personal relationships. But here's the scary part. Most people don't recognize it until months or even years after the damage has been done. The psychological scars can last a lifetime. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 7 most common signs of emotional manipulation. Signs that are hiding in plain sight right now in your relationships. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to protect yourself. Let's dive in. Sign number 1. They make you feel guilty for things that aren't your fault. This is the guilt trip, and it's one of the most powerful manipulation tools out there. A manipulator will twist situations to make you feel responsible for their emotions, their choices, or their problems, even when logic tells you otherwise. They might say things like, "I'm only upset because of what you did," or "If you really cared about me, you would do this." Notice the pattern? They're putting their emotional responsibility entirely on your shoulders. Psychologists call this emotional dumping, and it creates a toxic cycle of obligation. You start making decisions not based on what's right or what you want, but based on avoiding their guilt trips. That's exactly where they want you. In healthy relationships, people take responsibility for their own emotions. In manipulative ones, you're always somehow to blame. Sign number 2. They make you question your own reality. This is called gaslighting, and it's absolutely devastating to experience. A gaslighter will deny things they said or did, even when you know with absolute certainty that they happened. They'll tell you you're being too sensitive or you're remembering it wrong. Research from the University of California in 2026 shows that repeated gaslighting can actually alter your brain's ability to trust your own perceptions and memories. You start second-guessing everything. Did that really happen? Am I overreacting? Maybe I'm being too sensitive. This self-doubt is their weapon. Gaslighters often use phrases like, "That never happened," "You're crazy," "You're making things up," "Everyone else thinks you're overreacting too." The goal is to make you dependent on their version of reality. Once they achieve that, they have complete control over you. Sign number 3. Their affection and attention are unpredictable. One day, they're loving and attentive. The next day, cold and distant. This is intermittent reinforcement. Psychologists discovered this pattern creates one of the strongest forms of psychological addiction. It's the same principle that makes gambling so addictive. When you don't know if you're going to get warmth or coldness, your brain becomes hyper-focused on winning their approval. You'll do anything for those moments of affection. The manipulator knows this. They withhold affection strategically to keep you off balance, always working harder to earn what should be freely given. You start walking on eggshells, constantly monitoring their mood, trying to figure out what you did wrong when they go cold. In healthy relationships, affection is consistent and reliable. You shouldn't have to earn basic kindness and respect. Sign number 4. They never take responsibility. Everything is always someone else's fault, usually yours. A manipulator will twist every situation to position themselves as the victim. They had a bad day. It's because of something you did. They made a mistake. Well, you stressed them out. This victim mentality serves a purpose. It deflects accountability and puts you in a position where you're always apologizing, always trying to make things right. According to research published in 2026, chronic manipulators show distinct patterns of externalizing blame. It's a psychological defense mechanism that becomes a weapon. They'll bring up past mistakes you've made, even ones you apologized for years ago, to justify their current bad behavior. The scoreboard is always tilted in their favor. You find yourself in endless circular arguments where no matter what you say, somehow you end up being the bad guy. That's not an accident. Sign number 5. They isolate you from your support system. This one is subtle but incredibly dangerous. A manipulator will slowly convince you that the people who care about you are actually bad for you. Your friends don't really understand you. Your family is too critical. They create drama and tension whenever you spend time with others. They guilt trip you for having outside relationships. They make it easier to just avoid everyone else. Why do they do this? Because your support system is your reality check. Those people would tell you the truth about what's happening to you. Isolation makes you completely dependent on the manipulator for emotional support, validation, and your sense of reality. It's the ultimate control move. If you notice someone in your life consistently undermining your other relationships, that's a massive red flag waving right in front of you. Sign number 6. They use the silent treatment as punishment. This is emotional abuse disguised as space. When you upset them, instead of communicating like an adult, they shut down completely. No explanation, no conversation, just cold, punishing silence. Studies show that the silent treatment activates the same pain centers in your brain as physical injury. It literally hurts. The manipulator knows this. They're conditioning you to avoid any behavior that might trigger their silence. It's punishment and control wrapped in passive aggression. And here's the twist. When they finally do talk to you again, they act like nothing happened. You're supposed to be grateful for their return, not angry about the abandonment. Sign number 7. They twist your words and invalidate your feelings. You say you're hurt. They hear you're attacking them. Every attempt you make to express legitimate feelings gets turned into a referendum on your character. You're too sensitive. You're overreacting. You're being dramatic. This constant invalidation teaches you that your feelings don't matter. You stop trusting your emotional responses. You stop advocating for yourself. A 2026 study from Stanford University found that emotional invalidation in relationships correlates strongly with anxiety, depression, and decreased self-worth in victims. So what do you do if you recognize these signs in your life? First, trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Second, document what's happening. Keep a journal. Save messages. Your memory is not the problem, but having evidence helps you see patterns clearly. Third, reconnect with your support system. Reach out to the people who genuinely care about you. Their perspective is invaluable. Fourth, consider professional help. A therapist who specializes in emotional abuse can provide tools and strategies tailored to your specific situation. And finally, set firm boundaries. Manipulators will test them constantly, but boundaries are your protection. You have the right to be treated with respect. If this video opened your eyes to manipulation in your own life, please hit that like button and subscribe to the Human Mind Daily. Your support helps us create more content that matters. Remember, recognizing manipulation is the first step to breaking free from it. You deserve relationships built on respect, honesty, and genuine care. Don't settle for anything less.